Welcome back to the Book Talkers podcast, where ideas spark growth and mindset shifts. Today's insight might just change the way you see things. Let's get into it.
All right, welcome back everyone to the deep dive. You know, we're always on the lookout for simple but powerful ideas, and today we're going deep on the Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz.
Yeah, this book, it's almost like a pocket guide to a better life.
Exactly. It's deceptively simple, but it packs a serious punch. We're going to break down these four agreements, see how they apply to your everyday life, and hopefully give you some tangible takeaways.
And the cool thing is, these agreements cover so much ground. We're talking communication, self-awareness, relationships, beliefs, even the nature of reality itself.
So agreement number 1, be impeccable with your word. Now, this isn't just about being polite or politically correct.
Right, it goes much deeper. It's about understanding the power of language. Ruiz argues that our words literally create our reality.
Yeah, it's almost like each word is a seed, right? Plant a good seed, you get a good result. Plant a bad seed.
Exactly, and think about it. How many times has a careless comment hurt you or someone you care about? Or how gossip and negativity can just poison an entire environment.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, being impeccable with your word means choosing those seeds carefully, speaking with intention, and avoiding harmful language.
It's about integrity, both with yourself and with others.
Real quick, if you're enjoying this, make sure to hit that subscribe button.
All right, agreement number 2. Don't take anything personally. This one, I admit, I struggled with at first.
It's definitely counterintuitive, yeah. Because our natural instinct is to, get defensive when we feel criticized or attacked.
Right. But the book makes this really interesting point. It says that most of the time, what other people say or do is actually a reflection of their own reality, their own dream, not yours.
It's like they're looking at the world through a completely different lens, and you're just happening to be in their field of vision at that moment.
So basically, you're letting their baggage weigh you down.
Exactly. And when you take things personally, you're essentially giving them power over your emotional state. This agreement is about building that inner resilience so you don't get caught up in their drama.
That makes a lot of sense. All right, moving on to agreement number 3, don't make assumptions.
This one's so practical. We all do it, right? We fill in the blanks, we jump to conclusions, we create these whole narratives in our heads without actually having all the facts.
And those narratives can cause so much unnecessary stress and conflict.
Totally. So Ruiz's advice is simple. Ask questions. If you're not sure about something, just ask. Don't be afraid to say, hey, I don't understand. Can you clarify?
I mean, sometimes I feel silly doing that,
Oh, I get it. But honestly, it's so much better than letting an assumption fester and potentially blow up into a huge misunderstanding.
That's true. It's about choosing clarity over convenience.
Absolutely.
Okay, the final agreement of the core 4 is always do your best. Now, when I first read this, I thought, well, duh.
Yeah, it sounds obvious on the surface, but there's a subtlety here.
Right, because your best is not some fixed standard. It changes from day to day, even from moment to moment.
Exactly. Some days your best is going to be amazing. Other days it might be just getting out of bed. And that's okay.
So it's more about the effort than the outcome.
Exactly. When you consistently strive to do your best, whatever that looks like in a given situation, you avoid that self-judgment, the guilt, the regret.
Okay, so we've got the 4 core agreements. Now, Ruiz goes a little deeper, right? He talks about the power of words again, reminding us that words can create heaven or hell.
It's really driving home that point that our language shapes our experience and the experience of those around us.
We have a choice to use words that inspire, encourage, and heal, or words that tear down and destroy.
And then there's this really fascinating concept. You live in a dream.
So this is where things get a little, mind-bendy.
Right. Ruiz is saying that we each live in our own personal dream, a reality that's shaped by our beliefs, interpretations, and assumptions, many of which we're not even aware of.
So it's like we're wearing these invisible glasses that color everything we see.
Exactly. And becoming aware of that dream, that lens through which you're viewing the world, is the first step to real change.
But how do we change that dream? That's where the next agreement comes in, right? Freedom comes from discipline.
This one can sound a little paradoxical, but it's not about being rigid or controlling. It's about consciously choosing your thoughts and actions, rather than being ruled by old, often negative patterns.
So it's about breaking free from the autopilot.
Yeah, mental discipline gives you the power to observe your dream, to choose which beliefs serve you and which ones hold you back.
And all of this starts with self-love is the foundation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't truly embrace these agreements, or any real personal growth for that matter, without a deep and unwavering love for yourself.
It's about treating yourself with kindness, understanding, and forgiveness.
Because when you love yourself, you're more likely to choose thoughts, words, and actions that reflect that love.
Okay, the last agreement, forgiveness is power.
This one can be tough, especially when we've been hurt deeply, but it's so important.
Because holding on to anger and resentment only hurts us in the end, right?
Exactly. It's like that saying, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Forgiveness is about releasing yourself from that burden, freeing up energy to create a better present and future.
And it's not about condoning the actions. It's about choosing peace over prolonged suffering.
And finally, Ruiz reminds us that you can choose a new agreement anytime. You're not stuck with your old patterns. You have the power to make a different choice right now in this very moment.
That's so empowering, right? It means that change is always possible. We're not bound by our past.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. We've explored these 4 simple yet profound agreements and how they can help us create a more fulfilling and meaningful life.
Think about which of these agreements really resonates with you. What small step can you take today, right now, to put it into practice?
Maybe it's choosing your words more carefully, or practicing self-compassion, or simply asking a question instead of making an assumption. Even a small shift can make a big difference over time.
Because ultimately, these agreements are about taking responsibility for your own happiness and creating a reality that's more aligned with your truest self. So go out there and start creating your new dream.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll see you next time.
Like and subscribe.